and I'm very interested in wastewater management and healthcare.
Mhm. Next is Shabir.
Hi, can you hear? Yeah. Hi, I Shabbir Ahmad. I am working at INSTEM Bengaluru. My major research area is microbial physiology, biochemistry, metabolomics, and fungal synthetic biology. And my background is fully chemistry and biology like thing, and I try to make the various synthetic consortia how the metabolite exchange between cell and each stage to create model system. Yeah, that's all.
Mhm.
And
And then
recently,
Shabir, you mentioned, yeah, go ahead.
recently you visited our campus, but I was busy somewhere. I haven't able to meet you, but I am very interested to
Oh,
this type of fungal
which
synthesis.
which campus? Which campus was this?
NCBS.
Oh, I see. I see. Yeah. But where did you grow up, Shabir?
I grown at University of Hyderabad, MSc Biochemistry and PhD from there, and here I am
I see.
working as a postdoctoral fellow.
Got it.
Now
Got
completed
it.
the 4 year postdoctoral
Yeah,
and
but
try.
but before I meant before Hyderabad.
Yeah, but that time I think you was not there. I was 11 to 20. I was there. In
I
between, I
see.
haven't
Okay,
shown
so you
you the
spent
at
lots of
University of
time in.
Hyderabad. Yeah.
Got it. Okay, next is Dr. Camille uh, Guinness. And again, please correct my pronunciations. I'm gonna learn slowly.
It's Gaines, but you can just call me Camille
Guinness.
or Dr. C. I'm here at my house right outside the city of Philadelphia. I'm originally from Philadelphia. I work as the Chief Science Officer at the nonprofit Black and Marine Science, or BIMS. I saw this come through the
Mhm.
Ocean Explorer channel. I was on the vessel as an instructor one year, and I related to it because the
Mhm.
position I have is one that I've kind of built for myself. And one of the things that I'm really interested in is linking communities with science, and a lot of nature-based solutions. I'm trained as a molecular or a marine ecologist who's turned molecular biologist. We employ a lot of environmental DNA to assess biodiversity at a lot of different spaces. So my questions really focus on taking really successful marine conservation restoration projects, right? And how can we scale them up?
Mhm. This is fantastic to have you, Dr. C. I think we did not overlap on the Ocean X vessel at some point, but I'm really, really happy you're here. And I think one of the threads that will happen is this year particularly will pick up a lot of ocean problems. So just the timing of this is also really, really good. Okay, next we have Khushbu.
Hi everyone, I'm Khushbu. I have recently
And
finished.
then before Khushbu, you start, if anybody has been part of organizations, if you have started organizations, post web links for that in the chat. So I know Black and Marine Science is an incredible program. Everybody should know about it. But just in general, if you've been part of groups, for example, WebHub, we've been part of what we're doing in Nigeria. There is a website. So just share links so people have a little bit of a gathering of organizations that are already. So, Honey, any of the programs that you guys have worked on, anybody who's written a paper in a space that you're interested in, share that in the chat. Enrico can compile all of that because this is a little tip of the iceberg of the talent that is already committed and is here. And it's valuable to sort of go deeper in the areas that you might find. So these intros are really, consider them as a opening of a door, but there is a lot more that people don't have the chance to say. Uh,
Yeah.
and all of that can happen offline. So just please use the chat to share and post. Okay, Khushbu.
Yeah. Hi everyone, I'm Khushbu. I have recently finished my PhD in life science and have worked on RNA binding proteins in neurodegeneration. I'm basically interested in developing cost-effective diagnostics and therapeutics for neurodegenerations and other various diseases.
And then Khushbu, where did you grow up?
I
Which
grew up
town?
in Nagpur, Maharashtra, India, and I finished my PhD in Bangalore.
Got it. Yeah. Hmm. Okay, next we have Vedant. Vedant Rana.
Okay. Hello, everyone. So, um, I've been really excited for this course, and now that I have my turn to speak, I'm blanking out. But I'm also from Ashoka,
No
as
worries.
many of you guys are. So
Mhm.
I grew up in a Delhi area, so Delhi Gurgaon area, and I'm studying math here, leaning towards applied math. And my broad areas of interest are science communication and research on food. So more specifically, this new category of food called ultra processed food. And I've recently restarted my podcast, which I began my first year, where I bring students, academics, in an effort to humanize them, tell their stories, not just as academics, but as people. And as for the food research side, I'm interested in how, in this new category of food, specifically in the Indian subcontinent, so what kind of foods fall under UPF, what diseases do UPFs lead, so the epidemiological side of UPF, and any preventive steps that we can make now. Because India is in the same state as US was 30 years ago. So we still have a shot at fixing our food system. So yeah.
Mhm. Yeah, that's fantastic, Vedant. And then make sure that you link to the podcast itself. You know, what I had said a little bit on the thread around anti-science and things that are popping up. It's important to occupy these spaces in if you're comfortable in sharing, and you can learn a lot from somebody else's experience itself. Um, I mean, there is a lot to be said and talked about in the context of diarrheal diseases, for example, which is still one of the largest killers. And we still have not found indigenous solutions to many of the food products. Much of that is actually imported. So there's a lot to talk about.
Yeah, yeah,
Okay,
I'll
next
link.
we have Geta Messe. And you have to correct my pronunciation again there. Geta, can you hear me? Mm, okay, I think there's maybe I am frozen, or can you guys still hear me? Thumbs up if you can hear me. Yes? No? Okay. Uh, we are waiting for Geta to come online. So let's move to Nikita and we'll come back.
Hi
Nikita, can
everyone,
you hear
I'm
me?
Nikita. Oh, sorry. I'm Nikita and I'm a part of the Stanford cohort. I'm currently a junior majoring in bioengineering, and I'm actually also from Delhi. I'm interested in healthcare diagnostics, kind of stemming from my major, but growing up, I also had a huge passion for animals and currently do some work with Born Free, so I would be open to anything conservation related as well.
Next we have Fifi. I think that's right, Fifi.
Yes, good evening. My name is Fifi Baidu from Ghana. I'm a machine learning expert, currently specializing in developing deep learning models for complex visual classification problems. My current area of interest is in developing frameworks, deep learning frameworks for phytoplankton using transfer learning and explainable AI.
Mhm. That is fantastic. Um, and I don't know if you know, we have a new recent collaboration with Amala at Hui that Serena also knows, and Amala has been partnering with few folks in Ghana. And I don't know if you're connected in that Schmidt program.
No, I'm not.
Do
I
you know
actually
about?
heard about the
Okay,
Schmidt program
Frugal.
a couple of weeks
Yeah.
ago. But yeah,
Yeah.
thanks.
Yeah, I think what's very exciting is the Ghana Navy has agreed to convert one of their small naval vessels into a temporary research vessel. And so we've deployed a few planktoscopes online. So the first time data from Ghana is coming from the coastal side. I mean, it's fantastic that you're part of the team, and we'll kind of build uh, yeah, I think I'll rope Amala in that. And there is also a training program that will happen in Ghana pretty soon. Actually, Enrico
Okay.
is packing instrument today. Enrico, did you find Did you find a squid?
Yeah, we ended up packing a basic squid with a arm attachment.
Yeah, so Elisa is heading out tomorrow to Ghana. So Enrico, can you also connect Elisa with Fife and see if Fife can join the Ghana workshop? I totally forgot. We're running a workshop in Ghana with one of the institutions. And so anybody who's connected from Ghana, if you can actually make it to that workshop, it's going to be for the next 2 weeks. And then whenever something like this happens where you are physically based and we already have a program, I know, for example, I'll be running a big workshop in Ashoka on open source automated instrumentation and self-driving scientists. So I'll have all of you in the Delhi area connect. I know there is certain sets of threads that are happening in Hui already in the summer, so I'll send a message. It's a good way of thinking about if we have field programs and if you're physically there, then we can spend some time together. Okay, I think Geta Messe is online again. So Geta, go ahead. Geta, can you hear us? I saw your screen move, so I know you're there.
Yeah,
Yes.
hello. Sorry for my slow
You don't need
internet
to
connection.
apologize. Yeah.
Yeah. So my name is Geta Masai, and I think I know my name is a little bit hard. You can call me Getish as a nickname, Getish, just like Satish or something sound like that. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And I am from Ethiopia, and I'm a doctoral researcher in environmental science at Addis Ababa University in Ethiopia, and I'm doing research in integrated landscape management for improving surface and surrounding Addis Ababa. So my research is about identifying the groundwater zones and estimating the recharge, and also identifying areas where conservation measures should be made due to the high groundwater exploitation, as well as due to high surface runoff and soil loss. So I'm now pinpointing which area of the catchment should be uh, prioritized for conservation measure in order to improve the supply of surface and groundwater in the city. So this is my research. So that's why I joined this, because it has this program an alternative to share information as well as identifying areas of engagement in order to improve my research beyond contributing the community also. Thank you.
Yeah, and I think get that one important thing I want to mention is very recently water has become quite important to us for two specific programs in India. And I will leave a mystery for all of you if you think a little bit about. I had a conversation 2 days ago with an NGO that works in Rajasthan in India, very remote communities. Of course, it's on the border of Pakistan and India, very little water. It's a desert. But interestingly, almost from thousands of years, people have been living, and there are aquifers that were dug almost 1,000 years ago. And the big puzzle is how did they know where the water was? How could they have figured out what were the kind of sensing mechanisms to think? And these are precision wells. They are in this particular location. There's only a few of them, but they are exactly where the water was. And so it's remained a mystery for a long time whether there are other cues in the water, in the surroundings, in ecology that you can think about that provide indications for searching for water. And, as a historic kind of a context, just even as an archaeological puzzle, I am not aware of anybody having been able to actually explain methodologies around how water was searched for in the past. So anyway, it's kind of I think, and then again at Stanford there is a very big program that will connect you on sensing for aquifers using electromagnetic waves, and some of those antennas can actually be built. And several people have been thinking about scaling up, and so it's actually a very valuable link. Uh, I think much of what we've been thinking about for ocean-based technologies are very directly applicable to freshwater. Okay, let's keep going. I think we're kind of on a roll. But I see Rashi's hand up. Rashi, do you want to do a quick intro? Yeah.
Yeah, sure. But just before I introduce myself, I have something very cool to share with you. So basically, you mentioned like how these people know precisely where these water wells are. A story that a very famous innovator of a harvesting system called Bumro, he shared this with me. And basically, he was at Kutch trying to work out again these water harvesting systems at places so remote like Rajasthan, Kutch, etc. And while he was trying to figure that out with very expensive tech from IITs, there were few pregnant ladies walking through passing through the study site. And what they did was they placed five pregnant ladies. They asked them to walk in a circle. And when they start feeling the pressure in the belly button, it's exactly where the water pressure was high. And they mark those points and then they make like they map that out and they precisely understand how the water wells are and where precisely they are. So I found that really cool. I just wanted to share that. But hi everybody, I'm
So
Rashi.
I want to make a comment. I want to make a comment in this, Rashi. So I think
Yeah.
one of the important things to think a little bit about is going back to stories, but then at the same time, I want to see proof of how something like that would have worked. And I wonder if this person kind of dug in a little bit deeper. And I think this is also sort of a tricky part. Uh, we were thinking about this from how people used to describe their methods with partial knowledge. Maybe some of the pieces get missed out and then they convert into stories. And sometimes it becomes tricky to be able to kind of distill out the scientific principles behind. And I think, there is a really beautiful example, for example, something that's been brewing for a long while is magnetic field sensing in animals. And it is actually quite interesting that there is enough evidence now to start understanding that a much broader group of animals can detect magnetic fields. And they can't detect the precise location, but they can detect magnetic field anomalies. And so now suddenly a behavior that people might have seen in animals could finally find a scientific principle. And so the art of, if any, for any of the projects, when we go down the path of thinking about knowledge from the past, the art often is to dig deeper until you kind of find the source of where you feel the sense of confidence around there is a way. Uh, and so I think I'm always split brain about it. On one hand, I want to understand practices that were followed from a, anthropology perspective itself, because this was a practice that was followed and whatever the hit rate was. But on the other hand, I also want to see that maybe there are things that we are completely missing out that we should be thinking about, because there were simpler ways. So it's a borderline kind of a thing, and I want you to put your critical hat on, but sometimes also remove your critical hat and just become an anthropologist and learn whatever is done as practices. But then again, come back to the lab, put your critical hat on, and do that back and forth until you find, what is at the heart of that solution. Okay, now with that, quick intro, Rashi.
Sure. So, hi everyone. I'm Rashi, currently based in Pune, India. I am obsessed with mosquitoes, to be very specific, because they have been, really bothering me almost all my life. And after I found out that most of the chemical solutions don't work anymore, I dug deeper into the problem and I found out that the crux or the base of the root cause of all the problems in the mosquito control market was the rising insecticide resistance. So I asked myself this question: why is not anybody in the industry trying to target that, especially from the commercial standpoint? But I also understood that most of the chemical classes that they use are again just minor changes of few functional groups here and there. But at the end of the day, these are all chemicals that are very easily resistant to mosquitoes. And yeah, that's when I wanted to develop a multimodal kill formulation for mosquitoes, where it's not mainly just neurotoxic in nature, but it also targets other essential organs or metabolism processes of the mosquito, so that there are lesser chances of developing resistance. But I'm alternatively also exploring the tech or the frugal part of it, where we can do this in a simpler way, because I also realized that innovation in the space is very tricky, mainly because of the regulatory hurdles. So yeah, that's what I'm doing. Thank you.
Yeah. No, I think we'll definitely pick a mosquito project. I'm very happy that you brought that up. Okay, I'm gonna go through maybe a couple more intros and let's see who's the next on my screen is Ikidobi. Ikidobi Kennedy.
Good evening, everyone. Hello?
Yes, can you hear us, Iki? Yes, we can hear you.
Okay. My name is Kennedy. I'm from Nigeria. I'm doing my master's currently at Ebonyi State University, Department of Biotechnology. My main focus and interest is on agric innovations in the areas of soil improvement, because in my locality where I was born, when I was still a kid, there were so many farmlands with impressive yield year in, year out. But with time, everything spiraled into almost zero yield. So I want to improve on that. Also, poultry farming in Nigeria has a very big problem. Most
That's
persons
fantastic,
will
Kennedy.
start their
What
poultry
what was the
farms.
time scale that you feel from the moment when you used to see incredible yields to now seeing no yields? Are we talking about 20 years or less?
20 years, exactly.
30 years. Yeah. Yeah, I think this is something similar that I have heard. And this is some of the threads around Madagascar. I know Michael is joining from Madagascar. And there was a very similar conversation that happened in areas around Nagpur with some of the farmers that we just spoke to recently. Okay, let's keep moving. I'm going to go to the second screen to see if I can see. So the next on my screen is Francesca.
Hello, everyone. Hi. Uh, my name is Francesca, and I'm a bioengineer from Argentina. I'm currently based in Buenos Aires. So I don't know. I don't see anyone in South America, but maybe there's someone, and we can chat and connect. I would be very glad to. I think you're here,
I know
Manu.
in the last class there were a few students from Chile, and I'm currently in Chile, so we are probably on the two different sides of the mountain.
Well, if you pass by Buenos Aires, I would love to have a coffee.
Yes, go ahead.
But yeah, I'm a bioengineer from Argentina, and my passions lie at usually intersections of many things. Right now, I'm focusing on the intersection between therapy and diagnostics. So theranostics is something I'm very passionate about. That's what I based my thesis on. I designed a low-cost microfluidic device to kind of produce these low-cost theranostic agents that could be produced theoretically in situ in hospitals with low resources. I am also interested in access to healthcare. I'm also into the intersection between art and science. I'm very passionate about bio art and bio sounds. So that's something I'm interested in. But honestly, I'm just very excited to take this class and connect with everyone and just learn from you guys and participate in other projects, not necessarily in theranostics.
That's fantastic. Okay, next we have is Tamana. Tamana, yes.
Hi, good evening, good morning. I'm Tamanna. I am third year at Ashoka. I am also based in Sonipat. I am doing a degree in biology and I'm minoring in entrepreneurship and psychology. Things that I'm currently interested in are health policy, neuroscience. Still trying to figure what exactly I like, but yeah. Sorry, I think my internet's bad. I hope you heard
No,
all
no,
that.
no. We heard you. We heard you well. Yes. Okay, I'm gonna go faster so we can spend some time. Next is I think next on my screen was Anme.
Right. Hi Manu, hi everyone. I did economics from Ashoka University. I'm currently based in Delhi, although I'm working as a private equity consultant right now. But back in high school, I started with organizing blood donation camps, and then I worked with a public health organization, particularly for capacity building in the state of West Bengal for triple elimination of HIV, syphilis, and hepatitis B, and also in the state of Bihar for elimination of lymphatic filariasis. And yeah, that's pretty much. And currently, I'm excited to know more about how do we take healthcare in hard to reach areas, particularly through physical accessibility. And yeah, really excited to be part of this course.
Yeah, and I think the conversation for some of the projects, it will also imply for scale up, what do the kind of how do you unlock new resources and new funds for some of the ideas itself, which is an important conversation. Okay, next is Jack. Jack, can you hear us? Jackson. Sorry, actually, your acronym is all connected. Jackson
Sorry.
Mancow. No worries.
My name's Jackson. I'm a part of the Stanford cohort. A third year undergrad. I'm studying science, technology, and society, and I'm interested in something in the health sector, but I'm open to all ideas.
Okay, next is Satya.
I hope you can hear me.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm actually Aditya. I'm joining on behalf of my research guide, Dr. Satya Prakash, on a project in Tata Institute of Genetics and Society. I'm based in Bangalore right now, and I'm working on. So I am particularly working on uh, developing kits, diagnostic kits on HPV for like point of care diagnostic, mainly for low resource settings.
And then did you say, I think you got cut off, but I heard HPV, right? Yeah, Satya,
Oh, yeah,
your
sorry.
network
Yeah,
was
I'm
not very
working on
good.
HPV,
Can you
diagnostic
type
kits
that?
for HPV.
Yeah. Got it. Yeah. Also, if
Yeah,
your
can you hear
network
me
is
now?
not good, sometimes people can type as well. We can hear you. I got it. Okay,
I just
next we're
typed it for
going
you.
to
Yeah.
go to Sahana.
Hello, everyone. I'm also from Ashoka University. I'm in my third year undergraduate right now. I'm a physics major, but I'm also deeply interested in astronomy. And currently, my interest is in how we can create more equitable spaces in science. How, so much of our scientific progress depends on access. So I want to see how, cost effective and designs decide how and who gets to participate in scientific research.
Next is Akshit.
Hi everyone. So I graduated from Ashoka and I'm currently in Delhi. I underwrite deals in private credit and asset-backed securities. Apart from what I do professionally, I am working on an impact project, which is mainly in the musculoskeletal health and the sports science space. So I'm trying to explore how to use electromyography and motion capture to design better treatment and rehab protocols for, let's say, children suffering from postural issues, cerebral palsy, or just in general chronic pain sufferers.
And then I think one of the threads, Sakshit, is that there is a big program on postural side of the story at Stanford and Scott Delp's lab, lots of technologies. And now very recently, they've been working quite a lot on using cell phones to bring very high standard of care, but brought out and brought to a much larger set of cohorts happening in spaces that are not completely, because their current diagnostic tools are quite limited. So that's actually a fantastic connection. If the project goes in that direction, I'll rope some of them in. Okay, next is Mayank.
So hi, I'm Mayank, a second year undergrad at Ahsoka. So initially I was planning to do major in international relations, but last summer I worked on a documentary about Down syndrome in Nepal. So I got interested in the genetic disorders and the prenatal diagnosis thing. So now I have finally decided to do major in biology, and so work in. So yeah, so yeah.
What a fantastic transition and sort of set of events. Yeah, that's very heartwarming to hear. Can you share the link to the documentary that you worked on?
Yeah, sure.
I want to see it. Yes. Next is Ananya.
Hi, I'm Ananya. I'm a sophomore, second year student at Ashoka as well. I come from Delhi, and I'm doing an interdisciplinary major in politics, philosophy, and economics. Um, I'm majorly interested in like policy and environmental sciences, and for the longest time, I thought that um, policy was only this policy was only the space that I wanted to explore. But I've realized how interconnected policy and science are, and I really want to learn more about that. I've also possibly decided to do a computer science minor, maybe, just to sort of explore a little bit. But yeah, that's
Yeah. Next is Smriti.
Hi everyone, my name is Smriti. I did my undergrad at UC San Diego and I'm now a master's student at UC San Diego. My research is mostly in wound care and developing a smart drug delivery system for wound care patients and chronic wound patients. Something that I've noticed a lot in wound care is there's a lot of innovation both in literature and in conferences and a lot of new technologies coming out, but those technologies rarely reach the people that need them, including veterans, low-income populations, and seniors that are mostly affected by wound care and chronic wounds. And so I really wanted to understand both from your previous experiences, Dr. Prakash, and also everyone here, what are the real ways that we can get, this breakthrough technology that's constantly coming out in research to the average person?
Yeah, no, I mean, that's the perfect reason to sort of join the projects. We'll talk a little bit about bottlenecks in some way and bottlenecks in innovation for why is it that it feels like we create incredible number of projects that don't scale. And I think we'll talk a little bit about that in how to flip that conversation around and start with the challenges of scale. So I think, yeah, we'll probably dedicate a lecture or so in trying to choose good case studies and also failure points. I mean, there's lots of examples where things did not scale while everything looked just right, the need was right. So I think this is a very worthwhile conversation. Okay, I'm going to keep going. Next is Kadrin.
Hi everyone, I'm Kadreen. I am a scientist turned entrepreneur. My background is been in infectious disease. I've worked on malaria, HIV, HPV, HSV, chlamydia, gonorrhea, really focusing on women's health and children as well. I was living in Boston for the last few years, and then I moved now to Nairobi, which is where I'm from, and I have started a company. My passion is in women's health in general, but this is going to be a biotech startup. So we're going to start in the diagnostic space. And my whole goal with this company is to make affordable, accessible healthcare solutions. So I'm really excited to see, how we can think about that. And I've seen there's a lot of people who are in similar spaces and also dissimilar, but the problem-solving path, I think, is the same.
That's fantastic. I'm just delighted to hear that you plunged right into building your dream entity, and also in a place that it takes a while, and it also takes courage to finally just focus on what you really care about. So that is fantastic. Okay, so now I'm seeing some names, but I don't know if I have called you already. If I've called you already, then you don't have to introduce yourself. I think next is Bashiru. Bashiru, are you there?
Yeah, and
Yes.
hi everyone. Yeah, my name is Bashir Adam. I'm Aladabo.
Yes, yes, yes. We can hear you very well.
Okay, that's fine. Yeah, I'm Bashir Adam from Ghana. I did biotechnology and molecular biology. Currently, I'm working with Sena Institute. It's a non-profit organization in Ghana, and I work as a researcher. And my interest is drug discovery, because I'm working on using natural products to discover that, especially I'm working on E. coli and Streptococcus for the time being, using Irela picta as an alternative.
Yeah, and then Bashiru, I'm assuming you will definitely be at Elisa's fluorescence microscopy workshop. Can you make sure that you send a note to any of the other folks that are in Ghana so they have the logistics, and we can figure out if anybody else who's already in Ghana, we can bring them out for the workshop if it works out. Just share
That's
the
fine.
details of that workshop. Yeah.
Okay, that's fine.
Okay,
I will do
I'll
that.
keep going. Next is Padma Naidu.
Hello everyone, my name is Padma Naidu. I go by Paddy. I'm a biotechnologist and I'm a researcher at NCBS Bengaluru. And my work is basically on biosurveillance, looking at antimicrobial resistance in the environment using wastewater samples way before the clinical manifestation does take place. So we look at xenobiotics and ARGs in the environment. So yeah, that's mostly what we do here.
And then, Patty, the core tech in that space is sequencing?
Yes. So sequencing is mostly what we do. And I'm trying to develop a study where we use mass spectrometry to understand different compounds that we can estimate and decipher how resistance does take place. So that is something what we do here. Yeah.
Yeah. It would be really fun, Patty, I know you probably already chosen your back of the envelope by the numbers assignment. But if you were to also do an additional assignment of estimate the cost of sequencing the entire planet, everything that exists on this planet, I want to know a number. See if you can.
Yeah. I actually missed the first session, so this is nice. I've got an assignment. Thank you.
So I just gave you your assignment, which is due on Monday. We will discuss by the numbers, where people choose a problem. It doesn't have to be a problem per se that you're trying to solve, but we want to become very quantitative about things we care about. And I want to estimate the curve of how sequencing cost is going down, but the way we explore the sampling frequency has to go astronomically high. So let's go to the ultimate limit, is sequence every possible piece of DNA. Then you can tailor back, but it would be a fun way to kind of think about problems. Okay, I think we only have a couple more people, so let's keep going. Next is Jahanvi.
Hi everyone, I am Janvi and I am a student in Ashoka. My major is computer science and math, and I'm doing a minor in economics. Um, I would say I'm interested in quite a lot of things, but majorly the thing that interests me is fashion and the impact that it has on the environment, which I doubt a lot of people think about. And I am really excited and looking forward to talking and innovating some solutions possibly for the impact and the consequences that fast fashion especially has on the environment.
Mhm. And then you should definitely choose that as your by the numbers assignment.
I
It would be
have
nice
done
if you
that.
can.
Yes.
Awesome. Perfect. Okay, let's keep going. I think next I see Pratyush. Pratyush, can you hear us?
I'm sorry, is this
Okay, I don't see
Pratyusha?
Pratyush. Oh, yeah, you're audible. Go ahead.
Oh, okay, I'm Pratyusha. Hello. Um, I'm currently a third year student at Ashoka. I'm majoring in psychology, minoring in entrepreneurship and biology, possibly with a concentration in computer science if I can manage to fit all of that into my degree. I'm interested particularly in cognitive sciences. I've recently been exploring a lot of how curiosity works, especially how curiosity works when there's long-term memory involved. And yeah, I'm really excited to be here.
Fantastic. I think there's a deep connection between curiosity and science education. So we'll talk a lot about that actually. Okay, I am next. I think there's just last 3 or 4 people. So let's keep going. I know we are past time. So if some of you have classes to attend, it's perfectly okay. This session will be recorded. Might as well actually finish this off now. I was planning to cover a lot more details on how to do the by the numbers, but we will actually do it after you've done your assignment itself. So I think this is actually quite critical. So let's actually continue. And if someone has to drop out, it's perfectly okay. But if some of you can stay, I want to continue and finish some of the introductions. Actually, could people who have not had the chance to introduce themselves raise your hands? You will rise to the top of my list and then I'll choose from there. I think the next person I see in my list is Bharat Lal. Bharat, go ahead.
Hey everyone, my name is Bharat.
Use the icon react, and in that react there is a button called raise hand. If you do that, I will see you in the top of my list. Go ahead, Bharat.
Yeah, so Bharat, I'm studying at Ashoka too. I'm studying economics and public policy. I am interested in development, econ, healthcare, education, and like inequalities pertaining to income. So, and I just got introduced to my course in development econ to all of these things. So I'm excited about these things, and I really want to learn more and more about these. So yeah, I guess I'm more of a beginner here.
No, Bharat, everybody is a beginner at something. So you are amongst, we're all beginners at something. You don't have to worry. Okay, next is Chaitanya.
Yeah. Hi, I'm a freshman at Ashoka, so I'm just learning to learn about it, college education and everything. So I'm really interested in food and the aspect of commercial wastage of food and how to tackle that, especially in Indian occasions with large weddings and other occasions that happen that waste a lot of food.
Awesome. I heard the word wedding and large weddings. Super important problem if you can crack that. Okay, Phyllis.
Yes. Hi, everyone. My name is Phyllis from Ghana. I have a background in botany, marine science, and marine science. So currently, I'm working as a postdoc with the Ocean Margins Initiative Project, OMI, and have also been working with Ocean Explorer. Yeah, so my area of specialty is phytoplankton or algae in general. So from culturing to sequencing to ML, anything technology, emerging technology concerning phytoplankton or algae. That's my area. And I've been working with the planktoscope a lot. Yeah.
Oh, now I recognize the name. Okay. Really
Yeah.
delighted to be connected here. Amala spoke
Yes.
very, very highly of you, so I'm very, very happy you're here. Phyllis,
Yes,
think a
yes,
little bit
yes.
about, talk to Bashiru Adam offline and see if you can
Okay.
attend the workshop on fluorescence microscopy that we'll be running literally next week. So try to connect with him and see if we can make something like that work. Okay, next is
Okay.
Anam.
All right.
Hello everyone. I am a third year undergrad student at Ashoka as well. I'm currently pursuing computer science and mathematics. And last sem onwards, I just picked on a project on air pollution, and it was purely because of selfish reasons. I am based in Delhi, and I just wanted to know what really goes on behind that 700 AQI, something which was really recorded last year. So, yeah, we are currently studying how PM 2.5, PM 10, and all these pollutants correlate with socioeconomic stratifiers like gender, income, religion, and caste. And yeah, I'm just glad to be part of this cohort. So, yeah.
Perfect. And then I realized since there are so many students from Ashoka, if you can stay after I finish the intros for a little bit, I'll talk a little bit about logistics to figure out we can get a room where you all can attend together and hence get to know each other itself. So I will write a message to Anupma after this. But if some of you can gather some emails and send that to Enrico, so I send that to Anupma to book a lecture room somewhere in Ashoka. I really would like all of you to kind of sit together. So many of the projects, and I think that similarly is true for any other places where we have a stronger cohort of people joining. Okay, next is Indumita.
Can you hear me? Can you hear
Yes.
me? So yeah, I'm a first
Yes,
year.
we can hear you.
Sorry?
Yeah, we can hear you.
I'm a first year PhD student at Oxford, and my background is bioengineering as well. And currently, we're trying to find a low cost method of diagnosing dementia because we found that the cerebrovascular reactivity it shows up in both like the eye muscles and the brain. So trying to link pupillometry to functional MRI. So in the future, people can just do a pupillometry measurement and then also answer some questions about their lifestyle. And then we can diagnose dementia really early on because almost like 60% of the time, we don't know why dementia occurs. Like even if someone has a healthy lifestyle or doesn't have the ApoE4 allele as well, we're still like unsure on how like what causes it. So we're trying to analyze the data.
And then Indumita, do you have some clinical background itself? So you have clinical data sets, you're working with human patients, of course.
Yeah, currently we are collecting data ourselves from patients, trying to find older volunteers who've had a lot of lifestyle factors. And actually, one of the big things we found was in healthcare, especially like for women's health, having a pregnancy increases your chance of like dementia or any neurodegenerative disease by like 8 times, I think. And a lot of people in the past haven't been bothered to even explore this, or like having 2 or more pregnancies, or preeclampsia like during the pregnancy. So there's a lot of factors which previous studies hasn't considered. So that's something we're trying to address as well.
Wow, that is, yeah, I mean, I think one thing you should definitely do is for one of your back of the envelope by the numbers. I think it would be very valuable if some of you chose women's health as a very dedicated, because of course, even if you plot the number of clinical studies by gender, you will still see a massive gap. So it's really worthwhile first highlighting that. Okay, next I have Vishnu Madhav. Vishnu, you're not audible. No, I think you're still muted.
Oh, hi
Yes.
everyone. I'm Vishnu. I'm based in Bangalore and I work in computational biology. I've done a lot of work related to building algorithms for early detection and for cardiovascular disease and other such diseases. And I have a background in biology and even in other science domains. I've also contributed to some open source projects in NIH. Yeah, that's about it. I'm here to learn about bringing ideas to scale and learning how you can do things like at scale and to create impact. Yeah.
Perfect. Next is Hitakshi.
Hi guys, I'm Hitakshi. Am I audible to you guys?
Yes.
Yeah, I'm Hitakshi. I'm a PhD candidate in cell biology. I have a background of biochemistry and biotechnology. Currently, I'm completely working in cellular structures and membrane organization, even though I'm in a deep mechanisms. But my interest completely lies in healthcare and environmental sciences. So I'm just trying to know more about it by involving into this course, and I think it will be very helpful for me.
Yeah, I
Also, I
think
do a lot
Hitakshi,
of
this is a very common.
microscopy and biochemistry. Maybe I will be helpful for some in the other way to the course.
That is exactly what I was going to say. Some of you come from a very technical background, deep in mechanisms. I heard there was an applied mathematician. What's really valuable is when we build teams, we try to structure this skills, and you will suddenly find your passion. So I think it's it's all the more important that you have one area that you have been building your skills deeply. PhD in science is a little bit like a T-shaped structure. You go deep in one thing, but then you have a breadth of interest. Once you've done that once, you can apply that to many other places. So, okay, I think we have four more intros to go. Next is Ife Olo, and you have to help me pronounce your name.
All right, sorry. The name is Ifeoluwa George. Okay.
Ifelua,
So basically,
right?
I mean, yes, Ifeoluwa. About so basically, I'm into parasitology and I'm also a biologist, and based in Nigeria. Most of my research, my area is focused on the NCDs or the tropical diseases. And currently, I'm working on malaria, and also one part of me is also working on schistosomiasis. So interestingly, I would also want to learn more from this team, and also like to. And basically, also, we've been able to establish an organization in Nigeria where we train the next future practitioners, basically. So I'm so much willing
And
to learn more.
George, I just connected your name to the schistosomiasis thread. Now I know who you are. Yes, we've spoken multiple times. Yes, yeah. Okay. I'm so happy that the Nigeria team is here because we have boots on the ground in Nigeria. We will have boots on the ground in Ghana. We will have boots on the ground and actually a brand new lab coming up in Ashoka. We of course have boots on the ground at Stanford. We have Afri Science Community Program in Ethiopia, in Addis Ababa. Now with the context in Chile, there will be a foundation in Chile. I think we have to think a little bit more about maybe Francesca, Hugo, and a couple other people to connect threads on Latin American side to make sure that Francesca, you should think a little bit about if you send out, it's perfectly okay. It's only the first week. If you send out the invite for the class to a few other people in your community, uh, I think I will do the same in Chile before I leave. But I think I already heard a hub kind of growing in Ghana. It's very, very helpful sometimes when there is a subset of a community that forms, because then people are able to spend a little more time also in physical spaces working on the projects itself. And I'll talk a little bit about that in terms of how we will build project teams. Okay, 5 more minutes. We can go through this. Next is Imraz. Imraz Alam.
Yeah. Hi, I'm Imroz, and I'm a final year student at Ashoka, studying biology and chemistry. I have been born and brought up in the state of Jharkhand in India, and I'm broadly interested in infectious disease biology.
Fantastic. And I think, Imraz, one challenge I would put for you is by the numbers, choose something that's very specific to Jharkhand. We worked in that region a couple of times and sort of lots of challenges. When we use the word India, we often miss out on the local demographics associated with it. So it would be fantastic. It's so as a challenge, if you have lived experiences in places, choose certain context. It would be fantastic to kind of dive in the heterogeneity of resources accessible across India. Okay, next is Apurv.
Hi everyone, I'm originally from this tiny town Dharashiv, Maharashtra, India, and currently I'm a PhD student at University of Waterloo. I'm studying if we can increase the efficiency of carbon capture using thin film instabilities on vertical fibers. So I've been reading a lot about global warming, and it's really concerning and scary. Apart from that, like many others, I'm also interested in ocean problems, specifically with planktons. I didn't know what planktons were until I came across the gravity machine, and they're just so beautiful to watch. Yeah, good to be here.
Yeah, fantastic. And I think you said something that's quite relevant is, somebody had said, oh, you're obsessed with mosquitoes. Often enough, you can choose a problem to work on and find hidden beauty in those problems itself. I mean, mosquitoes are beautiful. They're a remarkable organism. And so similarly, finding an obsession that is both anchored in the problem you care about, but you find hidden beauty. I mean, we work on a lot of parasites, and parasites are insane. I mean, the biology that they cause terrible diseases, no doubt about it, but they are remarkable at what they do. And so when you are trying to find this balance, you have to make sure that you also find joy, because not the first day, the first year, the first time you're trying to tackle something, you will hit upon something that's going to work. And if you miss out on the joy, then it's very hard to sustain the degree of intensity that's actually needed. So sort of keep that in mind. Well said. And I think, carbon is going to be a big portion of some of the ocean projects. So I'm actually very happy you're here, Apurv. Okay, three more people to go. Karthik, Shore, and then Anushka.
Hello, Dr. Prakash. I'm Karthik. I'm an assistant professor in a government college in the rural district close to Bangalore. So I was introduced to you because of NCBS, the public talk that happened in Bangalore a few months ago. I'm happy to be here. Uh, Currently, we focus mostly on teaching, but I'm also interested in research. So I'll be starting my PhD officially maybe in another year. I'm here because I'm interested in learning and then implementing it along with my students in my class. Thank you.
That's fantastic, Karthik. I'm really happy you're here because you're also part of a chain reaction that you both act as a mentor, you also mentor people already, and at that same time, you can take many of the learnings from the community and build a local community yourself. So I think I'm very happy you're here. One suggestion that I would also make is so that you don't feel isolated, you can recruit one or two students of yours and try doing a project together with the class where you also have a local community because you yourself create communities. And at that same time, there is actually a good Bangalore cohort itself. I know Bangalore is, it's not measured in distance, it's measured in traffic time. So it's not trivial, but some of you should actually explore that idea of at least some connectivity. Okay, next is Shore.
Yeah, hi, my name is Suresh Lokaya. So my background has been in IoT and robotics. I volunteer in an aging community in a memory center. What I call is a forgotten community. Nobody bothers to visit them and things like that. So I wanted to tie the technology to the future of where everybody will be going into at some point of time. So that's why I'm coming here to learn something about it.
And then, which city are you based in?
I'm in the Bay Area.
Got it. Yeah, yeah. And I mean, I think the conversation we had also on the dementia side of the story, I can imagine sets of communities, screenings associated with that thread. I think finding a community to sort of emphasize what you said, it would be fantastic if you do your assignment on showing the scale of this problem itself. You know,
I
what we
have a
call as
research paper.
forgotten communities sometimes.
Yes, I have
Fantastic. So you
published a
can just
research paper
present
on
it.
that.
Yeah,
I
you can
volunteer
just
each year.
present that paper. It's
Perfect. Yeah.
fantastic. Okay.
Thank you for doing the good work.
Last is Anushka. Yeah, Anushka.
Hi, Manu. Hi, everyone. I am currently working as a project associate at Donder Center for Neuroscience in the Netherlands. And my interest would be like I am passionate and like obsessed with everything neuroscience, but my specific research focus is on systems neuroscience and neurotechnology, focusing on memory enhancement and sort of stuff. And also, I'm working well in science communication. So we have a group. It's called Women in Neuroscience UK. So we are working in leveraging underrepresented communities and also tackling gender bias in neuroscience. So we are a group of 70 volunteers in UK and in Europe and also abroad. So we are working on that. So yeah, that's about me.
Yeah, and then Anushka, can you share in the chat a link to the groups that you mentioned, especially the women in neuroscience?
Yeah,
I think
sure.
there was another Karthik, but I don't know if Karthik has had the chance to already introduce. Uh, if you have not introduced yourself, you can just unmute yourself and introduce. I'm assuming everybody's had the chance to go through. I see Manuel Weber, but maybe Manuel is connected but not physically here. Manuel, if you're there. Okay, we'll pick up if anybody didn't get a chance to introduce themselves. Betty, yes. Last but not the least. Go ahead, Betty.
Everyone, can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, my name is Bethlehem and I'm from Ethiopia. And I have a background in chemistry and I recently completed my MSc in food science and nutrition. And my academic professional interest is focusing on food product development, hidden hunger like micronutrient deficiencies, and chronic disease such as diabetics. And I'd also like to express my sincere appreciation to Professor Manu for your remarkable work on the foldscope. Because I had the opportunity to learn about foldscopes through the Cypher forum introduced by Professor Loza, and since then I have been introducing foldscope to elementary schools in here in Ethiopia, and the experience has clearly shown that science can truly be simple and engaging. And I would like to say thank you. And I'm really grateful for this opportunity. Thank you.
I'm delighted that you're connected with Cypro and we get to finally meet. And we'll talk quite a lot about kind of building programs. And I think, again, seems like Ethiopia might have a smaller hub, so it's actually useful. Okay, I think with that, we're going to conclude for today. I already heard from Enrico that some of you have already submitted your by the numbers assignment. That is exciting. One thread that I'll just mention is I want to challenge yourself. Sort of any problem that you've chosen, try to see that if you can dig in deeper. So you might have finished your assignment, but take that same thing and try to ask yourself a question of, can I dig in more? Can I challenge my assumptions? Can I choose different assumptions or different routes to arriving at the same answer? So kind of the more you think about it, the more you'll realize that it's an open-ended problem and there is no one answer. And what we're going to do is I'm going to pick a few examples and we're going to try to drill holes in it. We're going to try to challenge our assumptions. So, it's a type of a thread where imagine if you had an incredible amount of resources you're about to put into the problem and you had to make that decision whether this is the right framework for the problem. Then suddenly there is a cost of a mistake that you would make. You could underestimate something and then you're not putting the right resources. You could overestimate something and something else doesn't get that set of a resource. So it's a tricky, put yourself in a policy shoe and ask yourself, where is the data gap? So it's not a one line answer or the final answer doesn't really matter. It's the process. And that process will allow you to think about how you're going to be thinking about that problem. Make sure you cite all the sources that you are able to find. You can use all kinds of tools. So, it's interesting. I know ChatGPT can do this for you, but try to beat ChatGPT. Do a better job. You can do one challenge, blind yourself, ask the same question to that, and do your own Fermi's problem and see where you could beat, where you could find gaps in sort of what has been learned. And so I think it's important to not just finish this assignment. This assignment could potentially act as the background rock of your project if you end up working in the same project domain. So it's quite a serious, it is a serious endeavor. It should really take you a couple of days to digest. And you should feel that you are hitting brick walls. And that would be the nice time to then have conversations with friends to say, oh, how would you actually go about understanding slightly untangible problems? How would you approach it in a manner? Uh, if you feel that the numbers that you are getting are totally off the charts and you don't have a good gut feeling about it, try taking a new approach. So I just want to make sure that you challenge yourself with this assignment. Okay, with that, I know I am almost half an hour late, and I am thrilled that you guys are still connected. We will post this recording. I think we had to do this in terms of intros. I'm glad that we did this now rather than later. And then we're going to pick up next week. I have to figure out what time my flight lands. So I will send out a message either today or tomorrow for the class time to make sure that I'm not in air because I am landing on Monday. My intuition was that I should be able to be in the class the same time. Okay, more to continue. Thrilled to see all of you. And Enrico, is the Discord already working? We have
Yes.
we have it. Yeah.
Yes.
So I'll try writing a few sets of things to make sure that everybody's connected. Start thinking about team members and local community. And I think we're going to freeze the class starting next week. So this is your moment if you truly feel like you would like to recruit a person or two locally to kind of build in the context of a project, this would be the time because I think otherwise now things are going to move much faster. And so it's actually useful and valuable. And we were thinking about starting Notion, but we realized that Notion now charges a lot of money. So we're going to move to an open source solution. We're just going to build a quick wiki for the class. So you will see some notes about how to create wikis. And it's just useful in general that we're not paying massive subscription fees to these companies that can lock our data, which we are hoping to be open to begin with. So I hadn't realized Notion has now turned into this massive profit-making machine, which is problematic. Okay, all right. Bye, everyone. See you next week.
Manu, you
Oh,
mentioned you
Ashoka.
want.
Ashoka, if
Yeah.
folks from Ashoka can just stay for 10 seconds, just a quick. I don't know if everybody from Ashoka is here.